So I'm at a hotel in Houston about to film for a client. Essentially, the way I want you to think about this project is we are bringing this client into the 21st century with video. Right now, they have nothing. They have no videos at all. They have some slideshows. So we are putting together a package for them that includes a B-roll library that'll be organized and color graded for them to reference whenever they need something for marketing. And then we're gonna put together some interview series videos, like who are we? Some of those like credibility type videos. It'll be me and my coworker, we'll be filming. So today, what it looks like is we're gonna get on site at 8 a.m. We're going to do a little scout, walk through the site, and get to know what all the facilities are, because it's a really big facility. Then we will pull out the cameras, do some filming, try to get really authentic B-roll of the work that they do. And then we might like stage some shots of people talking, interacting, smiling, laughing. I just got this old camcorder, so we want to get some footage that looks like it was in the 2000s, well, I guess we're still in the 2000s, but the early 2000s, so that, when we're putting together the video, when people are like, oh, back in the day we used to blah blah blah, then I can show that footage, that kind of thing. So yeah, this filming will take place over 3 days. We've got today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and so yeah, I'll bring you along with me. Let's get going. In the 3 different places we set up, we were working with really small rooms that didn't have a whole lot of decorations, so we had to rearrange the rooms to give us space to work, but then to also, have a nice backdrop for the interviewers. When I set up interviews, I tend to set up the lighting first to get a sense of how this space is gonna look with the light, and then I throw the camera on and lock in the specific camera angle, and then I add the audio. My favorite thing about this shot is the window into the facility. Typically, windows in the background are just blown out, so it's cool to have some kind of depth and, a splash of color. Let's talk about taking notes during interviews. I've tried a bunch of different ways of taking notes. I've tried using timecode and syncing up a little timecode box with the camera and then taking notes based off of the timecode, which eventually turned out to not work well with my process of editing, because when I transcribed interviews, I grouped them all into one big file and transcribe them into one file externally outside of DaVinci. So the time code from my notes didn't line up with the time code from the transcription, so it just kind of made the notes irrelevant. What ended up working the best, which we just did now, is I got these small stopwatches and I kept them in sync with the main camera. And every time I would start and stop recording that camera, I would hit the stopwatch. So the stopwatch was perfectly in sync with what the ending transcription with all of the clips would end up being. And it actually worked really well. And then the person conducting the interview would focus just on the questions and making sure you're providing, a positive experience for the interviewee. This is way too hot. The way we do interviews is very conversational. We have a list of questions, but we try to go based off of the interviewee and what they are interested in, what they talk about. So yeah, we always start our interviews with who are you, what do you do, and why do you do it? I think it's a really natural way to start because one, it gives you a sense of like, okay, is this person the type of person that can kind of riff off of a question? Like, are they just like, oh, I'm Brandon Davis, I make videos, because that's my job? Or is it, you know, I make videos because I love making videos, I love making things, I love telling stories, and being able to connect with people means a lot to me, you know. Those two different responses will say a lot about what to expect from the rest of the interview. As far as specific interview questions, we put together a list ahead of time so that we have things that we can reference. But the biggest thing is we come up with common themes that we want to ensure we get through. The best interview question that I think I ask and I get the best responses from is the simplest, and it sounds so silly, but it's, do you have anything you would like to say about blank? And people were like, no, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I love and truly care about blah, blah, blah. Like they always just spit about whatever it is that is on their mind. And it's always just so good. Let's talk about editing. With video editing, there's a balance between the art and the creativity behind the story and the science behind the data organization and file management. So the first thing I do with every project is start with a really rigorous organizing of all of the files for the shoot, breaking it out into a lot of folders to make sure I know where everything is whenever I need it. This organization also includes the transcription of all of the interviews. Then I sift through all of the raw B-roll, starting with all of the clips on one track and cutting and raising the clips that are better. Each track above that base raw track is labeled. So if it's about machinery or the workers or safety, then I'll raise each clip to that respective track. Now I'm putting together the actual video. We're doing 3 videos. One is just kind of an overarching introducing the company. The other 2, one is going to be on safety and the other on people development and why this place is a really good place to work. And this is where I'm really starting to get into the art of the craft, where you're trying to find the story through all of the material that you have. So I start by doing what's called a paper edit, where I go through the transcriptions and I find a song and I'm listening to the song and trying to find inspiration for what I want the video to be, what I want the actual story to be. And then I organize all of the sound bites from the transcriptions into a document that is top down what I would want the video to be. I'll make some edits and like leave some notes of what B-roll maybe could go in this place, where the motion graphics could go, stuff like that. From that script, I search for each soundbite and add it into DaVinci, add music and make my cuts and make it all flow, cut out the ums and all that. I say all that like that was a quick thing. But it's significantly easier without having to look through all of the interviews in DaVinci, because one, you're saving so much time pressing buttons. Being able to read it and hear it is a lot easier for me than just listening and watching the person talk. With every video, from commercials to documentaries to corporate projects, you need a strong hook. And so for this, we are doing a compilation with a bunch of different sound bites from across all of the different interviews that summarize essentially what the video is going to be. People have said you're supposed to spend as much time on the hook as you do the rest of the video, and while I don't always spend as much time, I do spend a lot of time wanting to make sure it's really powerful, so it really starts off strong. This process doesn't always feel smooth. It can get really stressful and frustrating sometimes, and when I get overwhelmed, I try to ground myself in the process of my workflow, because I might not know what the video is going to look like or what it's going to feel like, smell like, but if I know what steps I need to go to get to a finished product, then I just need to keep checking off the list and what I need to do. So if I feel like, oh man, I really don't want to listen to interviews, I can't stand to listen to another person's voice right now, I'll just start going through the B-roll. Maybe I'll start working on a motion graphic or organize other things that may take less artistic vision and more just like pushing buttons that'll help me later, one thing off my chest. Once I go through all the B-roll, I'll then pull stills of some of the best stuff to put in a library to share with the client. To share it, we use a site called Wistia that has a few different options for sharing that makes it really nice. Man, this is really just like me telling you exactly how I do projects. Like, it's the science. That's what I'm trying to teach you right now. This is science. If you can learn the science of the workflow and the file organization and that whatnot, you will be so much more professional on the back end, and then you can serve your clients so much better on the front end because you're not stressed about things. You can hit deadlines better because you know exactly how long it's going to take you to do things, and you're probably going to edit a whole lot faster too. Just a thought.